Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Ocasia bracelet, and this was designed by Mystical Lumi on Instagram. I will bring up her profile here in just a second, but first I wanted to show you the front and back of this really nice bracelet. So it is a chain-based design, and this is what it looks like on the front or the signature side, and then you can also flip it over to the back, and this is kind of the back side. So I do prefer the front side because it is more raised on this side, especially with the single chain, but you can use both sides as your bracelet. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Mystical Lumi's profile here on Instagram. So here we are. I will make sure to have her name in the description box below, so make sure to check her out on Instagram here and give her a follow for me. And this is her account, just a quick overview. She has done a couple of other designs previously. This is the Ocasia bracelet here that she has done, and she asked me to do a tutorial on it, and I thought it was a really cool design. So yeah, here I am making a tutorial on it. So as you can see, her edits are really nice, and her photos as well are very clear, and you can see exactly what is in those photos. So like I said before, I would recommend her account, and I'll make sure to have her name in the description box. You can check her out on Instagram and give her a follow for me. What you're going to need today is going to be a hook. I am using a rainbow loom hook today. You can use whatever hook you like. You don't really need a double-ended hook, but if you like to use one, you can use one. You're also going to need a C-clip, and which I have attached to part of a single chain. You will need a single chain to start, so this is a chain-based design, and you will need a chain that's a little bit bigger than your wrist size because they do get tightened up because of these bands. So I'm just doing a sample here, but it's up to you. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a little bit. And so obviously the center chain is this like Egyptian burgundy color, which is the purple medieval in this bracelet. And then the neon green in this bracelet is kind of like the main color. I feel like you can see it more. I will be using gray for this, just regular opaque gray. I would also recommend opaques or jellies or just non-dual layer bands for these outside ones. It just looks a lot neater. And then for the dark green that's here, I'm actually using neon green again. So let's hope this color combination looks alright, and let's go ahead and get started. So taking your bands, make sure that you have a single chain already prepared. If you do not, go ahead and pause the video and make one, because we're going to get started right now. So make sure that the cap band is open or flat here. You're going to stick your hook through the back. If you're left-handed, you're going to start working on the left side. If you're right-handed, like me, you're going to start working on the right side. So you're just going to grab these two loops here. First thing you're going to pull through is a gray. So pull that gray band on and reattach. So very simple, just pulling through a kind of single chain band. Then take your green. It's actually a very simple bracelet, but it's super duper pretty. So I'm going to pull through both of those gray loops, but before you close this green, you're going to lift the gray that's closest to your hook back onto your hook, and then flip this green over the end of the hook. So now you just have the gray. You're going to reattach the green that you were holding back on, so it looks something like this. Now what you're going to do is go up and through the next chain. So I'm going to stick mine through the back, and again pulling these two side bands, which are the same that correspond to here. So take a gray and a green. You're only going to need 2 bands per section, which is really cool. You're going to pull this gray through the first 3. So this is your sequence here. Your sequence is where it starts. So pull through those 2 burgundy loops and then your 1 green and reattach. You're going to leave this gray out here on your hook. Then you're going to take your green. This band is a bit thin. And take your green. Pull it through all 3 loops on your hook, just like this. And then before you close, you're going to go ahead and lift the center gray back onto your hook. And then you're going to flip this green over the end of the hook and reattach that green. So once you're at this point, you're going to go up through the next one. So through the back, right here, 1 gray, 1 green. Taking your gray, pull through the first 2 burgundy loops and the first green loop. You're going to leave this last gray one on and reattach. So nothing super special here, nothing really confusing. And then you're going to pull your green loop through all 3 loops here. And then you can see these 3 loops. You're going to skip this one, because that's the one that connects to the previous section. You're going to grab the center one and lift it up back onto your hook. I find it easiest to keep it kind of in this section when you are flipping this green over the end of the hook. And then once you've done that, you can reattach. So one more time here. What you're going to do is stick this through the back. Make sure that all of the bands you're pulling through on this side correspond to the bands that are below it as well. You're going to pull your gray through the first two burgundy and the green and reattach. Then take your green, pull it through the first three bands, and lift the center one. And then if you also like to just kind of slip knot, you can hold on to the gray and pull the green through and then reattach. You don't have to use your fingers for this. So I have gotten to the end of my short length of chain, so what I'm going to do is show you how to finish this off. Obviously, if you're not here, you can pause the video and then I will show you how to do the next side as well and finish the bracelet off completely. So I have my C-clip attached here. If you have a slip knot, you can just undo that. I just like to take this one loop on, and then I like to take it out of the C-clip. So now I have half of a band on my hook. And all you're going to do to finish it off is when you have this one green and one gray loop, you're just going to pull it onto that band. And then I'm going to reattach this burgundy. My C-clip is still attached to the first one. And what you can do is just simply attach your C-clip to the other end. And you have this. So once you have all of this, I know it looks a little bit weird here because it's a very small sample, but this is pretty much what you will do all the way down. So once you have gotten to this point, you're obviously going to want to pause the video here. I'm going to show you how to do the other side so that you don't get confused and accidentally switch up the back side and the front side. So let's go ahead and do that. So what you're going to do is, before, if you're right-handed, you worked up the right side. Now what we're going to do is turn it so that this cap band is facing like away from you. And then what you're going to do is make sure that the front side is still facing upwards. Then you're going to go through the back, and you're actually going to grab these two bands on this side. And the sequence is not different at all. You're just going to grab your gray and pull it through and reattach. And then this is just for the first section, this little bit of a different part. You're going to pull the green through the first two and then lift that closest one back on your hook. And then, like I was saying before, if you like to do the slip knot type technique, you can just do that and reattach. So now you have this. And you will want to make sure that this is kind of facing you, that the C-clip is closer to you than the cap band is, just so that you know you are doing this correctly. And then what I like to do is kind of turn mine so I can see the back side here. And I'm going to stick my hook through this next section and make sure that I am grabbing these two bands. Get a gray and a green. Pull the gray through the first three. And a green through the first three. Then you're going to lift the center. Oops, make sure you don't lift that green, just lift the center. And pull it over. Once you are here, go up to the next one. Again, this is from the back side. Make sure that you are going through the back. Grab one of each. Pull your gray through the first three. Your green through the first three. You're going to lift that center one and flip that over the end and reattach. Don't get confused if don't get confused with the slip knot and then just flipping it over with your finger. It's the same technique, just doing it differently. Whichever way works for you, I would just recommend doing it that way. Then last one, take your gray, pull through the first three, your green through the first three, lift the center, flip that green over, and reattach. Once you're here, you're going to want to take the opposite side of the band. I know that if it's like at the end, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to grab the other end, pull that out of the C-clip, pull the gray and the green over, and then what I like to do, just so I don't lose it or twist my band, is attach the other end back on. And And then I'm going to attach my C-clip, if I can get it, to the other end. Pull that off. And there is my little sample bracelet. I will finish this, extend it until it is a full wrap bracelet here. But as you can see, the front side is the same on both sides. You can pull on it, you can adjust it however you like. And then you're going to turn to the back side, and the back side is the same. So hopefully you understood that, and if you still need some help, you can rewind the video to replay those steps, because I really like this bracelet. I hope you do too, and I do want you to get it correct, because it's such a beautiful design. So anyway, that is all I'm going to have for this tutorial, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have Mystica Lumi's name in the description box below. She was previously known as Soft Looms or Tiger Looms on Instagram if you go back that far. But anyway, that's all I'm going to have for this video, so I hope to see you next time.